Assalamualaikum, my dear student. How are you? Hope you are well. I am Muhammad Ashraful Islam, lecturer, Department of Physics, Milestone College. Welcome to you all in my another online class. I hope this class will help you the better study at your home. Today I am going to discuss the very important chapter, Physics First Paper book. The chapter is 4 and the topic of the chapter is Newtonian mechanics. And my today's topic is acting force on an object in horizontal plane and the inclining plane. Now I would like to discuss about acting force on an object in horizontal surface. Let's see the diagram. In the diagram, you can see there is an object and mass of the object is here m and weight of the object is mg. And the reaction force of that object is r, which just opposite direction of the weight, and the frictional force of the surface is Fk. This frictional force always act in the opposite direction to the effective force, and here F prime is the effective force. Now if you want to pull that object from one end to the surface to the another end, then we have to apply the force. From the diagram we can write here the reaction force is equal to the weight. So in equilibrium we can write in equilibrium this reaction force R is equals to the weight, because these two forces acting just opposite direction and but these forces are equal. Now if that object move with acceleration in the forward direction, then moves with acceleration, then the effective formula will be F prime, which is equals to Fk. So this is the formula to calculate the effective force when the body move with uniform acceleration. But if we consider the body move with uniform velocity, in that case the effective force will be 0. But the question is, if there is no effective force, so there will be no acceleration. So how the object move in the forward direction? And the answer is the body move forward direction due to inertia of motion. So we can write in case of the uniform velocity, the formula will be here F minus Fk equals to, that means effective force is 0. So we have here only F minus Fk. So finally we can write F is equals to Fk. So this is the formula to calculate the applying force when the body move with uniform velocity, because in that time the effective force F prime is 0. Now if we consider there is no friction between the surface and that object, in that time the frictional force will be 0 and we will get the another formula. So in that time we can write here frictional force Fk is 0. So when the frictional force will be 0, the formula of the effective force will be F prime is equals to F. And now I would like to explain coefficient of frictional force. Coefficient of frictional force is the ratio of the frictional force and the reaction force. So you can see here in the diagram, R is the reaction force and Fk is the frictional force. So according to the coefficient of the frictional force, we can write the coefficient of the frictional force is nu k equals to Fk divided by R, because according to the definition of the coefficient of the frictional force, we know the coefficient of the frictional force is just ratio of the frictional force and the reaction force. So if you want to calculate the frictional force from this equation, then we can write Fk is equals to nu k into r, and we know the reaction force is r, which is just equal to the weight mg, but these two force, weight and the reaction force, act just opposite direction, so that we can write here r is equals to mg. Now if you put the value of r in this equation, then we will get here another formula of the frictional force, which is Fk equals to nu k into mg. So this is the formula to calculate the frictional force when frictional force is not given in the stem and coefficient of frictional force mass is given. In that time we can use this formula to calculate the frictional. Now I am going to discuss the very important topic of our today's class, which is acting force on an object in inclining surface while ascending. So look at the diagram. In the diagram you can see this is the inclining surface which is inclined with the angle theta with the horizontal plane, and there is an object and which mass is m, and weight of the body act in the downward direction, which is mg, and that way this weight has two components. So to calculate the component we have to know this this angle. Suppose this angle is x and we consider this angle is y. This is a right angle triangle, and in a right angle triangle, this addition of the two angle will be x plus y will be 90 degree. And if you consider this is the another right angle triangle, so in that triangle y plus theta equals to 90 degree, because this is the right angle and this angle is 90 degree, so we can say the addition of the two opposite angle will be 90 degree. So if you now if we add these two equation, then we can write x plus y equals to y plus theta. So from the both side y will be cancelled, so we have here x equals to theta. So if the surface inclined with theta angle, then this angle also be theta. I hope all of you have understand. Now here you can see this weight has two component. One is horizontal, another is vertical. This is the horizontal plane, because this plane make an angle with the force weight. So we can say the horizontal component of the weight is mg cos theta, which acts just opposite direction of the reaction force. Here r is the reaction force, and the vertical component of the weight is mg sin theta, which acts in this opposite direction of the force. Suppose we apply here F amount of force, and when we apply F amount of force, in that same time the frictional force will develop and which act just opposite direction of the applying force. So before calculation that effective force, let us know what is the reaction force. The reaction force will be here reaction force. Reaction force is R, and which is equals to here mg. So we can write R equals to mg cos theta. And now we can calculate the effective force. The effective force will be effective force, which is represented by F prime, and we can write F prime, which is equal to F minus mg sin theta plus Fk. This is the formula to calculate the effective force when the body moves with acceleration in the upward direction. Now if we consider this body move with uniform velocity, we know when a body moves with uniform velocity there is no acceleration. So the question is, if there is no acceleration, so how the body move forward? And the answer is, because of the inertia of motion, this body will move forward. Now let's see, when the body move with uniform acceleration, when the object moves with uniform acceleration, uniform velocity, in that time the frictional force Fk will be 0. So when the frictional force Fk will be 0, in that time the formula of the applying force will be F equals to mg sine theta plus Fk. So this is the formula when the object move with uniform velocity. Now if we consider there is no frictional force between the surface, the inclining surface and that object, so here the frictional force Fk will be 0. In that case we will get the another formula of the effective force. In that case the formula of the effective force will be F prime equals to F minus mg sine theta. Now let's have a look another condition. If we consider the frictional force is 0 and the body moves with uniform velocity, in that case the formula that means effective force will be 0, and if we apply F prime equals to 0 in this formula, then we will get the new formula which will be F equals to mg sine theta. So this is the formula when the effective force is 0 and the object move with uniform velocity in the forward direction. I hope all of you have understand. Let's have a look. Acting force on an object in inclined surface in case of descending. That means when an object descend over the inclined surface, in that time we will try to explain the acting force on that object. In that figure you can see this is the inclining surface and object which mass is m and weight is mg. Reaction force of that object which acts in the upward direction which is r, and weight of the body which acts downwards of the earth is mg. And if you consider this angle is theta, then this angle also be theta. We already explained it. So this plane is the horizontal plane, and we know there are two components of the weight, which is horizontal component and other is the vertical component. Here horizontal component is F cos theta, which is equal to the reaction force, and reaction force acting in the opposite direction of the horizontal component of the weight, and the vertical component of the weight is mg sine theta, which acts in the downward direction. Now let's see a condition here. The body will move downward if the value of vertical component of that weight mg sine theta is greater than or equal. So I write here the condition: if the mg sine theta is greater and equal of frictional force, then that object will move downward. But there are two conditions. Number one, if the object move with an acceleration. So what will be the condition? If mg sine theta is greater than frictional force Fk, then the body will move downward with acceleration. In that case, the formula of the effective force will be F equals to mg sine theta minus Fk. And in that time, the reaction force, that means the value of R will be just equal to, reaction force will be R equal mg cos theta. Now if the object move with uniform velocity, then what will be the condition? In that time the force will be 0. The force, effective force will be 0. Then we can write mg sine theta equals to Fk. So that we can write, if the object fall down with uniform velocity, in that case the effective force F will be 0. F will be 0, and our formula, the formula will be like this: mg sin theta equals to Fk. Now I would like to solve some mathematical examples regarding of our today's topic. I have already written a stem on the board, and according to the stem you have to answer the question 1, 2 and 3. Okay, let's see the stem. The stem says an object of mass 5 kg was pulled from one end of 10-meter long board placed horizontally to the other end. Later, the board is placed at 30-degree angle and that object is released freely from the top of the board. And here, coefficient of frictional force is Fk, whose value is given 0.25. And the question 1 is find the applied force to pull the object from one end to the another end uniformly. Okay, my dear student, let's solve the question number 1. First, let's draw the stem in figure. Let's see the stem in figure. In that stem, you can see this is the horizontal plane, or this is the board which is placed horizontally, and here the object which mass is m, and m is equals to here 5 kg. We know the weight always act in the downward, and reaction force always act to the opposite of the weight in the upward direction, and always the weight and the reaction force will be equal to each other. And if you consider here F is the applying force, so you know the frictional force is developed just opposite direction of the applying force, and when the object move uniformly, then the frictional force and the applying force will be equal. So the one question is arised here: how that force will move forward when the effective force is 0? The answer is that object move because of the inertia of motion. And now let's see the given information here. Mass of the object is given here 5 kg, and coefficient of frictional force, which is Fk, whose value is given here 0.25. And when a body moves with uniform velocity, then we know the frictional force is equals to the applying force. So if we calculate the frictional force, that value will be equal to the applying force. So first, let's solve the frictional force of the floor. We know the formula. We know the formula of nu k equals to Fk divided by R. Here R is the reaction force. Now if you want to calculate the frictional force, so we can write the frictional force Fk is equals to nu k, and the value of R is mg, because reaction force is always equal to the weight, so we can write R equals to mg. Now if we put the value nu k is here 0.25, mass is here 5 kg, and g is acceleration due to gravity, and whose value is 9.8. So after calculation this expression, we will get the frictional force, that is Fk, which will be 12.25, and Newton is Newton. And we know when the body move with uniform velocity in the forward direction, in that time the effective force will be 0. Then our formula will be applying force, which is represented by Fk, which will be equal to the frictional force, because here effective force is 0. Now if we put the value Fk, then we will get the applying force. So the result of applying force F will be 12.25 Newton. This is the answer of the question number 1. I hope all of you have understood. Now let's solve the question number 2. The question is, what will be the acceleration if the applied force is increased 5 Newton on the horizontal plane? That means we already get the applying force F is applying force F is here 12.25 Newton. Now, if we increase this applying force then more than 5 Newton, the total applying force will be here 17.25 Newton. And due to this, what will be the acceleration? Definitely the acceleration will be increased. So we have to calculate the acceleration. So when we increase the force 5 Newton, so what will be the now total applying force? The total applying force will be 17.25 Newton. And we already calculate the frictional force in from question number 1 is 12.25 Newton. Now what we have to do, we have to calculate the effective force first, then we have to calculate the acceleration. And we know there is a relation between effective force, applying force and frictional force, and the formula is F prime, which will be equals to the applying force minus Fk. Here applying force is given 17.25 and frictional force is given 12.25. So after calculation this expression, we will get answer 5 Newton. So here effective force is 5 Newton. We can say effective force is 5 Newton. Now we can calculate acceleration by using this effective force. Again we know F prime is equals to ma. So what will be the value of A? A will be F prime divided by m, and F prime is here 5, and mass also given here 5. So finally we get here answer 1. So we can get acceleration is 1, and which unit is meter per second square. This is the answer of question number 2. Now let's observe the stem once again. In the first condition they said a board placed horizontally. Suppose this is a plane which is placed horizontally and an object is pulled from the one end to the another end, and length of this board is given here 10 meter. And in the second condition they make here an angle, that means they make this plane as inclining surface, and they release that object from the top of the bottom, and we allowed that object fall freely from top to the bottom. And the question is, we have to calculate whether the object fall with uniform velocity or acceleration, and at what velocity that object will strike the ground. Okay, my dear student, let's see the stem in a figure. In that figure you can see this is the object and this is the inclining surface which now in making an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal plane, and we place that object in the middle of the plane because it will be easy to clarify the component of the weight. We know the weight always act in the downward direction, and if this angle is theta, then that angle also be theta. We already discussed this topic. Now the reaction force is act just vertically to the horizontal component of the weight. This is the horizontal component because this plane is the horizontal plane, and the other plane which is vertical component which is mg sin theta, and here the vertical component of the weight is mg sin theta acts in the downward direction, and which is responsible to pull the object in the downward direction. And as you know, here always the frictional force is act in the opposite direction of the applying force. Now let's come to the question. We have to find out whether that motion is uniform velocity or acceleration. That is why we have to calculate the downward force, which is mg sine theta, and the frictional force. And we know the formula to calculate the downward force. Downward force, we know the formula of the downward force is mg sine theta. This force acts in the downward direction. So this is called downward force. Now let's put the value. Mass is given here 5 kg, g is 9.8, and angle is given here 30 degree. Now if we calculate this expression, then we will get answer 24.5 Newton. So this is the downward force. Now let's calculate the frictional force, and we know the formula to calculate the coefficient of frictional force is nu k equals to Fk divided by R. Here R is the reaction force, and this reaction force is equals to the horizontal components of the weight, which is mg cos theta. So replace of R we can write mg cos theta. But in our previous math, in a horizontal plane, the reaction force was equal to the weight, that is mg. So this is the difference between that two inclining surface and the horizontal surface. Now let's calculate the frictional force. The frictional force will be Fk equals to nu k into the replace of Rg we can write mg cos theta. Now let's put the value. We can write Fk equals to nu k is 0.25, mass is here 5 kg, g is 9.8, and theta is here given 30 degree. So we can write here cos 30 degree, and after calculation this expression we will get the result of frictional force. Fk is 10.61 Newton. Now let's compare these two force. Downward force is 24.5 Newton and the frictional force is 10.61 Newton. So we can say the downward force is greater, so the object fall with uniform acceleration, because here downward force, that means mg sine theta is greater than frictional force. So we can say the object falls with acceleration. This is the answer of the first option of this question 3. Now let's solve the second option of the question 3, which is at what velocity it will strike the ground. To calculate the velocity, we have to know the acceleration, and again to calculate the acceleration we have to calculate the effective force. So first let's calculate the effective force. Effective force, and effective force is F prime. Effective force is equals to F minus Fk, that means applying force minus frictional force, and mg sine theta minus Fk, and we already calculate the mg sine theta, which is here 24.5, and frictional force is here 10.61. So after calculation this expression we will get the result. Effective force is 13.89 Newton. Now we can calculate the acceleration by using the formula f prime equals to ma. F prime equals to ma, so we can write here a equals to f prime divided by m, right? Now f prime is here 13.89 and mass is given here 5. So after calculation this expression, we will get the acceleration a, which is equals to 2.778 meter per second square. Now we can calculate the velocity at which this object strike the ground. And we know the formula. The formula to calculate the velocity is v square equals to v naught square plus 2as. And as the object start falling freely, that means initial velocity is 0. So we have only remained 2as. Now if you want to calculate v, so the value of v will be v equals to square root of 2as. And the value of a, we already calculated the value of a is 2.778. 2 into 2.778, and s is the distance, and distance of the inclining surface is given here 10 meter. The board is 10 meter long. Now if we calculate this expression, then we will get the result 7.45 meter per second. So this is the answer of this question. So we can say the object will strike the ground with a velocity of 7.45 meter per second. This is the answer of question number 3. I hope all of you have understood. Now let's have a look impulsive force. An impulsive force means if huge amount of force is applied in a very short time, then that force is called impulsive force. Suppose when we strike a cricket ball with the cricket bat, in that time huge amount or the massive amount of force will applied on the cricket ball in a very short time. So that force it's called repulsive force. And when we throw a stone and the stone strike in the glass will break down. And in that time, the huge or massive amount of force acting on that glass within very short time. And that force is also called impulsive force. Now, I would like to explain impulse of force. Impulse of force means the product of force and time. It's called impulse of force. An impulse of force denoted by capital letter J. So, according to the formula of impulse of force, we can write capital J is equals to F into T. Here, F is the force and T is the time. Now, what is the unit of the impulse of force? The unit of the impulse of force is Newton second. But there is another unit of the impulse of force. Due to this, we just put the another unit of force, which is kg meter per second square, and the unit of time is seconds. So after calculation this expression, we will get the new unit or another unit of the impulse of force, which is kg meter per second. So we can say there are two units of impulse of force. One is Newton second and another is kg meter per second. Now let's discuss a comprehensive based question about impulse of force. And the question is, impulse of force is equal to the change of momentum. And to explain this question, let's see a diagram. In the diagram, here you can see an object which mass is m and F force is applied on it. And its initial velocity was v naught, and after t second the velocity is here v and it travel s distance. So now if we apply the formula of impulse of force, then we can write, we know according to the definition of impulse of force is J equals to F into T. F is here force and T is time. And we know the formula of, we know there is another formula which is F equals to ma. Now if we put this formula in that equation, then our new equation will be mat. Again, we know acceleration is the rate of increase of velocity. So we know the formula of acceleration is v minus v naught divided by t into t, because we know the acceleration a equals to v minus v naught divided by t. Now here this 2t also 2 will be cancelled, so we have remained here only m v minus m v naught, which is called the change of momentum. This is the final momentum and this is the initial momentum, and this is the change of momentum. So we can say impulse of force J, which is equal to the change of momentum. So this is the answer of that comprehensive based question. I hope all of you have understand. That's all for today. Thank you for your patient hearing. If you have any query, then you can ask your subject teacher. Stay safe, stay home.